everyone, welcome to my channel, The Life of Nina. I'm feeling a little bit better today. It's been the first day since Saturday that I've been out of bed, more than for 3 or 4 minutes. But I wanted to get on here and make a video, something that I could do without using too much energy. It's raining outside, and yeah, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what happens to me. I don't share a lot about my illnesses because I don't like for people to feel down or sad or worry about me. I got my disability in, was it June? July? Not only, I have the things that a lot of people suffer from. I take 2 shots a day and 2 pills a day for my diabetes, and then I have high blood pressure and a lot of the common type things that a lot of people have. Osteoarthritis all over my body, and I have some chronic conditions. One of them is called chronic fatigue syndrome. It's short, can be CFS. Sometimes it's called ME. And sometimes it can be caused by stress. It's sort of like PTSD. When from stress you get like an illness. And I didn't have the ME or the chronic fatigue syndrome until my husband got really sick and was at death's door. And I started getting, anytime that I would do anything, I'm talking, clean the house. One time, before I knew what was going on, we had, where we used to live at, we had a porch with spindles. And the spindles needed painted. Now, I've always been a worker. My whole life I've been a hard worker. And I sat down on a chair and I went around the entire spindles and painted the inside of them. And then I went around the outside and did the same thing, just scooted along in a chair. Well, for 3 days after that, I couldn't get out of bed. And I thought I was just literally gonna lay there and die. That's what I felt. Well, as it kept getting worse and time kept going on, and the least amount of things that I would do would set me in a flare, they thought that I had MS. And I went and had a MRI of my brain, also of my entire spine. And that's when they figured out all the bad stuff that was wrong with my spine. But the MRI showed I had white spots on my brain, but they believed that those were caused from being a bad diabetic and having high blood pressure, and it can cause those. I have a very good friend of mine that has MS, and she looked at my screening and all that because she gets hers, so she could kind of know to compare. And she told me the same thing before I told her what the doctor said. She thought that they were probably from something else, and they were. So I don't have MS, and I'm so thankful for that. But what I do have, kind of in stages, in flares, kind of reminds a lot of doctors of MS until they find out that it's chronic fatigue. So Saturday, I was feeling wonderful, and we rode separate because Steve said, let's drive separate from everybody. The church bus was going to take a bunch of them, and then a few people were driving separate, so in case anybody bought anything, they would have their trucks to put it in. So Steve said, let's go ahead and drive separate in case you get sick and you don't feel like staying, and we can just go home when you want to. And I said, okay, that was sweet of him. And I'm sitting here just sweating. That's one of the signs. So I was feeling great, feeling so good. And I hadn't been with some of the people that go to our church for a long time because they've been remodeling the church and they still haven't got the cloth seats down yet. So it's too hard for my back and my bottom because they're the nice wooden pews, but they just don't have the cloth on the back of them or on the bottom of them, and they're getting that really soon. But so that keeps me a lot of times from going. Hey babe.
Hello.
I put her up because she was barking.
Yeah, I heard her.
Okay. So anyway, we get there and we're having a great time and fellowship, talking with everybody, and we walked a lot, and I felt so good, you guys, walking, because I usually don't walk a whole lot because if I do, my legs will feel like, and I think I've told this part before, my legs will feel like they are jello, and I kind of think of it as if you ever have gone swimming and you stayed in a pool for a long time, and when you get out and you're crawling either up the steps or stairs or whatever, handheld thing, ladder, either that, here she is, maybe she'll be good, or walking up the stairway, getting out of the water, how your legs will sometimes feel like they weigh a ton. Well, that's how mine feel a whole lot of the time. So, and if I know that I'm going to be out and about like that, I'm not ashamed to get in one of those scooter things that you ride. The reason that I'm not ashamed is because I know if I don't, I know what's going to happen. And that's what happened. I walked way too much. Had a great time, like I said. We went to dinner. We all sat, oh my goodness, I put a picture up on my last video, but we all sat they put tables together and there was a bunch of us, probably close to 30, I would imagine. And we talked and the food was so good and it was great. And on the way home, I told Steve, I kind of laid my head back and he kind of knows. And he said, asked me if I was all right. And I told him, yeah, I was all right. I was just feeling real sweaty and cold. And, hi, baby. So, she's okay, honey, as long as she don't bark. So, the next morning, didn't get out of bed. I stayed in bed. Like I said, today is the first, and it's Wednesday. It's the first day that I was sitting up on the couch. So I haven't done one thing. I haven't cooked. I hardly eat that much when I'm sick like that. Steve does his best to get me what I can eat. It doesn't bother me. But it's sort of like having a bad flu. It's about the best way I can describe it to you. It's like a bad flu and you're weak and you can't do anything. So, but I'm doing much better today. Like I said, I've been sitting up on the couch today, and I've been able to sit up and talk with Steve and hold Willow and talk with her, and I actually even watched a little TV because usually my eyes feel real googly and I can't do very much as far as watching TV. I definitely cannot read during those times, but I thank all of you guys for your thoughts and your prayers and the comments that you wrote. I appreciate it. Yes, there is no cure for this and fibromyalgia, and I happen to have both of them. But I know that when I'm going through those really horrible times, that it does get better. And that's what keeps me going. And you know, someone said, oh, at least you're still happy. Of course I'm happy because you know what? I've got joy that is buried down in my heart. And when you have joy there, you can't help but be happy, right? All right, so I'm going to get started on this card, and then I'll come back and let you guys see how much I've got done on it. I had to turn the other fan on. I was sweating to death. But this is the card I made for my granddaughter. Baby girl, I thought it was cute. And then I fixed it like that and drew her, or wrote her a little note in there, so I've got to give that to her before she turns a year old. Oh, goodness. I'll get with it one of these days. So that I don't burn my tablecloth, I just use my painter thing to set the little glue gun on. I want to get started back painting again soon. Those of you that remember, I started it last year, remember? Last winter. And first time I painted. And I fell in love with it and painted every single day for almost the whole winter. Well, when spring and summer came, there's too much to do outside to get done, so I put it all away. Put it in the put it in the basement for now. But I was telling Steve the other day that this winter I think I'm going to get it back out and start painting again. I know a few of you have made an interest that you would love one of my paintings, and I wrote back and told the one lady the other day that stick around, and I'm sure that I'm going to have some that I'll be doing giveaways on. I am not good enough to sell my paintings, but I do enjoy doing it, and I thought, you know, maybe this winter, maybe I'll just do a giveaway like once a month, and then if you previously won, I'll not let you be in it for the next month, just to give everybody a chance. You know, I'll think of something so that it's fair for everybody. But yeah, I thought about doing that, and we'll see how that goes, okay? All right, I'm going to get started on this. I'll be right back to let you see it. All right, so now I know what I need to do. I need to go downstairs. I think I have one of those things that you put a piece of paper on, and it's got the blade that cuts it. I don't know what it's called. I have one of those from years ago when I would print my own photos out, and it would cut them off with that. So I need to get that. But I don't really feel like doing this anyway tonight. I'm just thought I might feel better if I started one. I don't really. So that's all that I did. Just glued that little thing up there. Nothing straight. The paper that I cut for in here, I just eyeballed it and it's not straight. But anyway, I'll get that thing and practice a little bit, and might be able to send a couple cards out to people. So, all right. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, and I'm sorry that I'm not up to par yet, but don't worry about me. I'm on my way to getting a lot better. So I thank you guys for being here, and talk to you guys later. Bye.